Hi, this is an instruction video for the reflection on learning document, which is to go in your appendix for PRNG 2001 assignment. So essentially, as you know, we have 4 learning outcomes for this essay. What you need to do is this: complete a reflection on learning in any format you wish. You can do a personal development plan about generic learning and then focus on the learning outcomes. You can do a learning document. The way I did it with my group, I got them to use 3 Microsoft Word documents, put the heading of the 3 major learning outcomes in, and then drag across the text from the online discussions with regards to those learning outcomes. So for instance, patch for lung cancer looks like this, and if you look at it, it's got learning outcome 1, learning outcome 4. Now learning outcome 4 is the essay learning outcome. Patch for maternity care is learning outcome 5, that's for the essay. The patch on epilepsy, learning outcome 5. The trauma patch is learning outcome 2 and learning outcome 4. So if you go through your patches and you highlight the learning outcomes, you will see that most of them match the essay. So what you need to do then is, in your personal development plan or your own reflection on learning, or the way I suggested it with Microsoft Word documents, go to your online discussion and drag across your discussion with regard to the essay learning outcomes. Then you can tidy it up in your reflection on learning. Then you can turn it into a proper reflective cycle, or you can just leave it as it is. This just goes in the appendix. It's not marked. The whole reason you're doing this document is when you're writing your essay, and I suggest you initially follow the skeleton essay, which is in the resource folder. You don't have to, it just lays it out well for you. When you're in your essay, you must regularly refer to your online learning at regular intervals. Now, many of you have said, well, I've done a general reflection on learning. I've said, that's great. Put that in your appendix, leave it on its own, or combine it with your reflection on the learning outcomes. When I say a reflection, I mean pulling out the learning outcomes that you've discussed online, putting them in the document, and then you think about what they mean, and then you write about them in the relevant part of your essay. There is no format. You make a document which reflects on your online learning in any way you want, you put it in the appendix. You then simply refer to your online learning in the relevant learning outcome section of your essay. It can go at the top, it can go in the middle, you can refer to it a few times. It's up for you as a student to work out the complexity or the simplicity of how you say in your essay. Learning outcome 5, let's say, critically reflect upon professional values and beliefs about implementation. Let's just say this is your chapter in your essay, and you might say at the very start of that chapter, during our online discussions, we found out blah, 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 blah. I then went away and knew I needed to find out what nursing beliefs are, what policy implementation is, full stop. Then you answer the question. Some people will want to more regularly relate the essay to the learning reflection in the appendix. There are no rules. The rule is you put a document in the appendix that gives evidence that you've encountered and undertaken online learning. You then write an essay based on the skeleton as a suggestion, and in that essay you regularly refer to the document in your appendix. Okay, hopefully that's made it clear. If not, speak to each other, because from my meetings, about 75% of people got it, and a few people were just had because they're very smart, had realised, is this about generic learning or is this about the learning outcomes? In this essay, I would write about your online learning, about the learning outcomes, and then if you have time, write a generic section on your new learning as a result of undertaking this. It's up to you. I've given several examples here. You just decide how you want to do it. When I get back on the 4th of April, email me if you're in my group, or ask me a question in the discussion forum, and I'll answer it for you on the 5th of April. Have a good 2 weeks. Have a great Easter. Bye-bye.